Hello, everybody, and good afternoon. Welcome to Missouri Southern, and welcome to our Lion Leaders virtual event for this year. My name is Kevin Grime. I work in the development office here at Missouri Southern. Mentioned virtual event. Hopefully, this is maybe our last virtual donor engagement event. Last couple of years, our Lion Leaders event has been on campus in the North End Zone facility. We've had outstanding turnout, and we're happy to bring you this one today, but hopefully next year we're going to be back in the North End Zone and right in front of you again next year. So what are Lion Leaders? Lion Leaders are supporters of Missouri Southern who make gifts to the Missouri Southern Foundation at very generous levels. And we are very, very appreciative of that support. It's critical. We'll talk to Dr. Van Galen a little bit later on in this program about how important that support is. But we have, over the last few years, wanted to do something a little bit extra, give you a little behind the scenes look, a campus update. And that's what we're going to do here today virtually. And we hope you enjoyed today's show. So before we get to our first guest, I do want to bring your attention to the graphic that was up on the screen. Southern Showcase on stage is live. And you can attend that tonight and tomorrow night on campus. Friday, Saturday night, it's going to be on campus. You can also buy virtual tickets to that. Actually, my wife and daughter went to it last night and they loved it. So it's a super good event that's put on by our music department here at Missouri Southern, and hope you really enjoy that. Hope you can tune in for it or come out live to that Southern Showcase on stage. That is tonight and tomorrow night as well. So when you talk campus updates at Missouri Southern, one of the biggest updates we've had recently is in the football program, and we are really happy to have our first guest, Coach Atiba Bradley, head coach of the Missouri Southern Lions. How's that sound?
Yeah, it sounds great. It sounds great. It sounded great when I was a player to be a Missouri Southern Lion, and now it sounds great as a different role as a head coach.
As a player, when did you first know that you wanted to coach football?
Well, I knew early I wanted to do something in athletics, and it was probably my sophomore year. I had a staff that was just tremendous. They were tremendous people. They were tremendous leaders, and I knew I wanted to follow in their footsteps.
Coach Bradley looks good in green. And for those who don't know, he is a Missouri Southern alum. He played football here. He's a Joplin High School product, played football for the Eagles as well. Just came back to Missouri Southern as our head football coach here recently. So coaching football for your alma mater has to be even a more special feeling than getting any job you've probably had in the past. Tell us what it's like to now lead the program where you play.
Well, it's been unbelievable. I mean, the connections that I made as a player, as life has gone on, I've kind of lost some of those connections. And so coming back and everybody seeing that, it's been an opportunity to reconnect with some of those people, and through text, through phone calls, through emails. So that's probably been the most special part, is guys that I haven't talked to in 10 years are reaching back out and reconnecting.
Probably more so than I would say probably most any other job. Your first few days, first few weeks on the job are an absolute sprint.
Yep.
Because you got to hire that whole staff. You got to connect with your players. You've got to evaluate your current players. Not to mention the fact you had to get ready for a football game, which is different in the spring.
Yeah.
Get your systems installed, all that. Talk about this first month or so on the job and how it's been, how you've handled that.
Well, it's been great. I mean, the first couple of weeks were challenging, not just because of the job, but there was a pandemic going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was an ice storm that hit the Midwest that just really prevented us from, having a lot of face-to-face contact with our players. It made it challenging for our staff. We joke in our staff room is that we found out who really wanted to be here. If they would drive through the snow to get here,
walking
to work,
in, whatever.
We found out who really loved to be here and doing it. And so, no, there was nothing typical about it. We had to get in, we had to recruit, we had to prepare for a game. And then, like you said, we had to develop a relationship with our players. These guys didn't know me. I didn't know them. But immediately I was already asking them to do a lot for me. So it has been fun. It's gone super, super fast, but I don't think I'd have it any other way.
Tell us about what you saw in that game that you played, Southern Nazarene. And it gave you a great opportunity, obviously, to evaluate these guys in a game setting, because it was a real football game. Tell us about that.
No, it was fun. I mean, it was fun. I tell guys it was like Christmas Day. This was the first time that some of them have had live contact versus a different, another team in almost 365 days. I mean, it was the first time they'd done it. And so they were super excited. They were hungry to compete. There was so many mistakes. I think there were fewer perfect plays, but the kids played hard. They played with passion. They cared, and it showed, and we were able to get the victory.
We're talking with Atiba Bradley. Atiba's the new head football coach here at Missouri Southern. So for our fans who are looking forward to watching Lions football in the fall, upcoming fall, what kind of football program are they going to see down the line? What football program are they going to see? What type of team do you want to feel?
No, I think when you watch us play, you're going to see a team that competes. We're going to compete at a high level. We're going to bust our tails. We're going to do it the right way. We're going to have a team that you can be proud of. Does that mean we're going to be undefeated? Maybe not. I hope so. But it's going to be a team that you can go out there and say that you can root for and back all the way.
You mentioned your coaching staff. Obviously, that staff spearheaded now by Coach Patasso, who's our defensive coordinator.
Yep.
Good friend of yours. Talk about the relationship you've had growing up with Joe and now coaching together here at Missouri Southern. I know that's been a dream of your guys for a long, long time.
Absolutely. So Joe and I were best friends in high school. We were best friends in college. We were roommates in college. In the coaching profession, you always want to be around people that you respect, who are respected in the profession. And quite frankly, Joe checks all those boxes. And so it was a dream. Right now, it's kind of funny. Even though I'm his boss, I'm living in his parents' spare bedroom, so
unique arrangement.
Yeah. So a lot of times he'll make comments like, that my jerk of a head coach is, making me have an early staff meeting. But Joe's one of those lifetime friends. We will be friends. We were friends before this. We'll be friends after this. Special bond.
You and your new staff, we talked about, have assembled very quickly. You've hit the recruiting trail very quickly. How have your efforts been received so far by young men who you want to be Missouri Southern Lions? Sure,
it's been great. It's been great. This is such an odd year. We've done a lot of work in Illinois, who's currently right now playing their high school season. We've done some work in Texas, which Texas is such a big state with a large population. There's a lot of good players who are still out there who haven't made their decisions. And so people are excited to see us. A lot of the areas that we've been in, we were previously in, previous staffs. And so it's like returning back to those areas. So it's been good.
So what are you, what type of young man are you looking for? Who's going to be a Lion for you guys and play football for the Green and Gold?
Sure. Our team is made up of student athletes, students first. So we're looking for guys who want to come in here, get a degree, have an experience, graduate college. On top of that, we're looking for guys who want to win championships. I'm looking for guys who want to compete every day in every way, in the weight room, in the classroom, and especially on the football field. So those are the two main components of what we're looking for.
Talking to, you're an alum, obviously we've gone over that. You played football here at Missouri Southern. How have your alumni connections, or how do you anticipate your connections with Missouri Southern alums benefiting you guys, and not only from a recruiting standpoint, but also just from a support standpoint?
No, I think it's huge. I think anytime that you can connect with people who have walked in your shoes, any people that have already done this, and then see how successful they are, and just learn from their experiences of how being a Missouri Southern Lion has benefited them. That's probably the biggest connection that we've gotten. And I remember as a player taking a knee at the end of practice and listening to former Lions come and speak to us and talk about their experiences. And now, just because I'm the head coach, I'm now speaking that experience to those guys. But the connection with the alum is huge. We want them back. We want them involved. We want them around.
Tell us, as we wrap up here, tell us about your family. Let the folks out there know a little bit about who's in your family and when they're going to be coming to town and who they're going to be meeting, who our supporters are going to be meeting.
Well, right now I'm living, I'm 6 a.m. to 7 or 8 p.m. at the facility, but The kids are back home. I got 3 kids, 10-year-old Brianna, and then Kiera is 7, and then Marcus just turned 4. So they're going to finish the school year back in O'Fallon, Illinois, and then they'll join us. My wife, Jacqueline, has been shopping houses. In this short conversation, I've probably gotten about 4 texts about, hey, did you see this one? Did you, I should have bought stock in realtor.com. But no, that's, hey, in our profession with so much ups and downs, you got to have that stable family at home that can kind of ground you when you get too high and bring you up when you get too low.
Well, I know you're looking forward to meeting a lot of the folks who may be watching here today and getting to know or getting reacquainted with some of the supporters over the years. So we look forward to introducing you to the folks too. So congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thrilled to have you and appreciate you coming on today.
No, appreciate it. Thank you.
That is Atiba Bradley. Atiba is our new head football coach here at Missouri Southern. This is our Lion Leaders virtual event. We're going to step aside for just a second. You're going to learn a little bit about Moso Merit, which is a new automatic aid program at Missouri Southern. And when we come back, we'll talk with a Missouri Southern student who's engaged in a very interesting project on campus. We'll be right back.
You earned it. You put in the study time and passed the tests. Now it's time for all your hard work to pay off. Missouri Southern is excited to announce our new Moso Merit Scholarships. Starting fall 2021, qualifying first-time freshmen will be eligible to receive up to $5,000 per year in scholarships, all renewable for 8 consecutive semesters. It's our way of recognizing your academic achievements. Submit your application today. You earned it.
Welcome back to our Lion Leaders virtual event. We appreciate Coach Bradley stopping by and look forward to introducing him to a lot of our supporters over the course of the summer and then, of course, heading into next football season. Before we talk to our student representative today, wanted to draw your attention to the ad that you just saw, Moso Merit, enhanced automatic aid to qualifying students here who are interested in coming to Missouri Southern. If you know of a student who's considering their higher ed decision, please have them check us out. Moso Merit is it's been enhanced, and we are now a much more competitive as far as our automatic aid goes. So please alert them to that and encourage them to give Missouri Southern a look. One of our Missouri Southern students is Jeremiah Klein. He is a senior from Eureka Springs, Missouri. He's involved in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Excuse me. Yeah. He is involved in a very unique project on campus. And before we go into that project, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from originally, and what you're planning on doing.
So I graduated from Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Right now I'm a senior in the conservation biology is what I'm trying to get my degree in. I'm working on the Missouri Southern marsh and biology pond restoration program, trying to go through and redo the area to make it more aesthetically pleasing and also make it to where it can be used by students of any department.
How did you get drawn to wanting to work with the environment, wanting to work outdoors? When did that interest start with you?
I started working kind of at a younger age. Well, I enjoyed working outside. And then in 2019, I started working with Missouri State Parks and started working at Roaring River on their glade systems and restoring them. Fast forward to currently I'm working with a tall grass prairie restoration program here in Webb City, and also with a non-for-profit in Springfield doing restoration programs.
We're talking with Jeremiah Klein. He is a senior here at Missouri Southern, and you mentioned working on a project to restore the biology trail. So our alums will remember the biology pond, and there's a little trail that goes back there.
Yeah.
How did that interest start in this particular project?
It all started last semester pre-COVID. My mammalogy class went back there and we tried sampling for mammals to see what kind of lives out there. I realized that it was overgrown. There wasn't a whole lot going on back there. Invasives were pretty much wreaking havoc. So I kind of took it on an interest to kind of go through and make an impact on not only like my campus, but also kind of local community, to try to go through and restore the area to a living classroom, which is what it started out as being in the 1970s.
So when you say restoring it, give us kind of a snapshot of what that project entails, what needs to be restored. Because when I first thought of it, I thought, well, there's, clearing a path,
Yeah.
clearing the path off, but it's way more than that. You talked about invasive species. So what is a snapshot of what this project entails?
So restoring it would be essentially bringing it to what a marsh would be naturally. So ecologically speaking, there would be more diversity. There would be more plants and hopefully attract more animals. Currently, right now, we have a lot of winter creeper, honeysuckle, stuff like that. That's just pretty common, but it affects not only the plant diversity, but animal diversity, and can also affect water quality for the marsh and the pond.
You talked about animal diversity, and so what, once this gets done, what kind of animals would you anticipate benefiting from this project?
So I'd like to start seeing some more aquatic migratory birds, which we have some actually down there now that we haven't noticed before. We also would like to see more reptiles and amphibians start moving in. There's actually, believe there's actually a species of salamander that live inside the spring. So it's kind of cool. We're hoping to try to do more research with that. And see more birds, more insects. So like bees, hummingbirds, just kind of like those more prettier, more pollinators, I guess would be the better term for that.
So one of the reasons that we're featuring Jeremiah today on this particular program is because some of the things that he needed to accomplish, we have to have money to accomplish. And so we needed donors to step up and help you out with this project. So when you first thought about, okay, I want to restore this, I need some help from a donor standpoint, how much did you realistically think that you'd be able to raise?
It actually turned out to be a lot bigger than what I thought. Initially, I started out with just using hand tools I had borrowed from professors in the biology department. And so I was expecting just to get enough just to kind of cover some tools. So like chainsaw, brush cutter, just kind of the basic tools I needed to get done. And it ended up being so much more like that. In the photos, cycling through, we went through and started putting study areas or picnic table areas, lining the trail. I've even started going through, we're going to have native plants going through and start planting within the week. So a lot has been done, and realistic, like I didn't think it was near this much. It's became a lot bigger, and I'm really thankful for all that.
So we started this funding project off with just kind of an online crowdfunding type project, and had good interest, and we're able to raise some money that was able to purchase some of the equipment that you need. And then we had a very generous donor step forward and give a larger gift that basically is going to fund what you need to do. So moving forward, what else are you going to need what are you going to use this money for as far as funding goes?
Once we get the major purchases done, such as the sign, we're redoing the sign to make it more inviting. The picnic table areas are done. All the plants, native plants have started taking root, and we've eradicated the invasives. Mostly it's just going to kind of go towards hopefully a bigger project as a whole. I'd like to start seeing more work done with the riparian area of the whole Turkey Creek, and kind of also incorporate another trail on the other side of the marsh. So it gets kind of a 360 view and gives a little bit more a view of all the different animals and plants you can see in there.
One thing you've talked to me about that I think is pretty cool on this project so far is that it's not just you doing it. You may have thought this needed to be done, but you've got a lot of volunteers behind you.
On average, I do last 2 semesters. So I started last semester, fall of 2020. I did 3 volunteer days, which I do also this semester also. And on average, I've averaged out about anywhere from 35 to 40 students, which that's a lot of help.
Oh yeah.
When it could have been nothing. So we got a lot of student support, a lot of faculty support. I've relied on various professors on input on various plant species to choose, or kind of what to do to go towards the next step. And so I've had a lot of support from not only the donors for funding, but also as like my local community and campus community also.
What would you say to folks who have given to this project? What would you like to say to them?
So first off, thank you. I'm very grateful for all the help you've done. without you guys' support or the help of you or my volunteers, this project would not be as near successful as it is currently.
Ultimately, this is going to benefit a lot of students. You must be excited to know that once this thing gets done, a lot of Missouri Southern students are going to benefit from this over the years.
Yeah, so my goal is to go through, initially it started out as like an outdoor classroom or a laboratory. I'm trying to go through and incorporate that while also trying to give a place for not only biology department students to use, but also any other students to go through and use for study areas, to do homework. Professors can bring them down on a nice day. So if it's nice out, bring your laptops down, we can do homework or to have a class outside. Just to kind of go through and get students more in touch with nature and get them more interested in the things around them. So like, hey, that's a pretty plant. I like that. That's cool. Or hey, that's a duck. Never seen that before. That's pretty cool. To kind of go through and make an impact and make that connection with nature is really my biggest thing.
We want to thank you for coming today. Congratulate you. You had a vision for a project that engaged supporters. You're going to get that project done now, and it's going to benefit people for a long time. So congratulations. And thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
That is Jeremiah Klein. He's a senior here at Missouri Southern. He has started a project to restore and then ultimately maintain the trail near the biology pond, the biology trail. We thank our donors who have stepped forward to fund this project, and it's going to be great when this thing gets all said and done. So we're going to step aside again. You're going to hear a little bit about our Global Leaders Program at Missouri Southern. And when we come back, we'll talk with Dr. Dean Van Galen and his wife, Mary.
Missouri Southern is very focused on the success of our students, about providing our students with really life-changing experiences. And the Global Leaders Program will do just that. It is designed to provide students with opportunities for study abroad, undergraduate research, professional development in many ways. And the other focus of the Global Leaders Program is leadership development. A college experience has many components. In the classroom, the curriculum, the knowledge that is gained, that is all very important, and our faculty do a tremendous job. But also the experiences beyond the classroom. Study abroad, as a great example, really can provide students with new perspectives and oftentimes shape the course of their lives. I think many of the global leaders will choose to study abroad with the $4,000 stipend that they will receive. And I can tell you from talking to students and really firsthand experience, those experiences open students' eyes. The Global Leaders Program is unique to the four-state region. We're really excited about it because of the impact it will have on our students. Also, it will be a distinctive feature of our university.
And welcome back to our Lion Leaders virtual event. We are now joined by Dr. Dean Van Galen, president of Missouri Southern, and Mary Van Galen. We are very happy to have you guys with us today. Thank you.
Great to be with you, Kevin.
We just watched a video on global leaders. So I want to talk about some campus updates first before we get to know you guys a little bit better. So let's start with global leaders. This is something that you have a vision for. We talked about Jeremiah's vision. This is one of your visions for Missouri Southern. And why do you think this is an important project?
Yeah, we're really excited about the Global Leaders Program. It'll be unique to the four states area and really the state of Missouri as well. And it'll provide great opportunities for students. Basically, it's a program in which every fall we'll recruit 50 new first-time freshmen to campus, and they'll be global leaders and have some great opportunities. Beyond an annual scholarship, they will also have leadership development opportunities. They'll build critical thinking skills, ability to work in teams, and they'll have $4,000 in the form of a stipend to study abroad, to engage in undergraduate research, professional development. So these students will be a unique group, a cohort on our campus that will have tremendous opportunities. And we're really grateful for the Missouri Southern Foundation because through charitable gifts to the foundation, we envision funding this program for many years to come.
And this is a program that's going to have a leader. We just hired a new director for the Global Leaders Program.
Yes, he comes to us from NEO and has some great experience helping students, but also international experience. As I'm sure many of the viewers know, we have an international theme within our mission. And so part of this program, and really everything we do, is to encourage students to gain a global perspective. And we believe many of these global leaders will use that stipend to have an international experience that I think in many cases will change their view of the world in a great way.
It's amazing that one decision can change your life like that. I'm going to decide to go overseas and learn about other cultures, and it just broadens you. Or I'm going to decide to go to a student competition or a student conference of some kind, and something happens to you during those experiences, and you come back a different person.
Yeah, I think that's a great perspective, Kevin. You know, certainly the coursework, those types of activities are important to an education, but sometimes it's those extracurricular, unique experiences that really make a difference in a student's life.
We saw a piece on Moso Merit automatic aid scholarships earlier. Why was it important to update our automatic aid, and what does Moso Merit entail?
Yeah, Moso Merit is a automatic scholarship model in which we will support incoming freshmen beginning this fall. There are 3 levels, green, gold, and premier, that range from $2,000 to $5,000 a year, renewable scholarship. And this is a way to ensure Missouri Southern remains affordable, and also a way to recognize the academic achievements of our incoming students. So we're excited to offer those opportunities, and certainly for the audience, if you know of a student, a young person who might be interested in Missouri Southern, it's a great chance for them to learn more about the scholarship support that we provide to our students.
There have been many unfortunate consequences of the pandemic. One of them at Missouri Southern is normally when we hire a new president, there are all kinds of in-person events. There's all kinds of ways for our supporters and our alums to get to know them. And we just haven't really had the chance to do that so far. So one of the things we wanted to do today, Mary, is to let folks know a little bit about you. So first of all, welcome. Thank you for being here. And as far as Joplin goes, as far as the Missouri Southern community goes, what are some of your first impressions of Joplin and Missouri Southern?
Well, I believe, the pandemic's been challenging on everybody, but I really feel that we've been blessed because both on campus and in the community, we've been made to feel very welcomed. On campus, Michelle Cook, the marketing team, communications team, everyone's, checked up on us, make sure that, we're doing as well as we can during this. And now that things have opened up a bit more, we've been able to get out to some basketball games and baseball games, softball games, volleyball. And it's been great to meet alumni and friends of Missouri Southern. And it's just been good.
Well, you seem like a very social person. So I imagine throughout the course of Dr. Van Galen's career, you've been eager to kind of get to know folks, and you must be eager to do that again here at Southern.
Absolutely. Joplin's given me an opportunity to try some things I haven't tried before. So one of the things, as things have opened up a bit more, that I've tried is Pat Lapira is teaching a pickleball class on campus.
Okay.
And I've gotten involved in that. And if you've never played pickleball, you have to try it once. And I'm not that athletic, but it really is an opportunity to meet people from all walks of life. And it's just great to come together and have fun.
So has she talked you into a game of pickleball yet?
Not yet, but I think it's coming.
We bought 2 rackets.
Okay, well, now you're in. There's no turning back now. What are some of the things at Missouri Southern that you've heard about that you're looking forward to experiencing maybe for the first time now that things are starting to open back up a little bit?
Well, the very first thing I'm looking forward to is actually having some events, re-meeting people that I've met, but without their masks.
Right.
And just really hearing their stories. I would invite, all our alumni and friends, invite us to coffee. We really want to hear your stories, and we want to hear what makes Missouri Southern special to each of them.
We heard Mary's first impressions of Joplin and of Missouri Southern. You've been here since July, but still kind of just recap your first few months on the job and tell us what has struck you about this community.
It's been wonderful in many ways. And I think the most striking feature is the people. And on campus, the way that they have welcomed us, and the commitment to the success of our students that runs throughout our campus. And I think our alumni and friends experienced that in many ways if they were on the campus at some point. And then the community also is very, very welcoming. I went to an event this morning at the Joplin Chamber, a ribbon cutting. And again, I was just reminded of how friendly people are, how they want to help, how they want to be connected. And I think for our university, the way we collaborate with the community, the chamber, the school districts, the city, it's really critical. And it's something I'm really committed to. And so it's been a strange 9 months during the pandemic, but it's wonderful, and it makes me very optimistic for the future of Missouri Southern.
What have been some of your favorite places? This could be for either of you that you've visited so far. Restaurants. What are some favorite areas of Joplin that you've seen so far? Areas that have stood out to you?
Well, you can't go a week without going to Brahms and have an ice cream cone. Yeah, that's just one of the things.
Yeah.
The other thing, Finn's Bang Bang Chicken and Bang Bang Shrimp, totally addictive.
Yeah.
There's so many wonderful places to go and walk and experience nature. That's been some of our favorite things.
Yeah, I think we go to the Frisco Trail pretty routinely in Joplin, which is beautiful, a great place to run and walk. And then, the events we have attended have been wonderful, whether they be some of the academic events, which are different, but still very special. And then the athletic events. We threw out the first pitch at the softball game a couple Saturdays ago.
How'd that go? Was it a strike?
The wind took mine.
Okay. It often does with those heavier
Yeah,
softballs.
it was
Yeah,
windy.
absolutely. Yeah.
But, to me, what was special is being in the dugout with the students and the
Absolutely.
coaches and the spirit, the camaraderie, talking to them about their experience here in athletics, but also as a student athlete was inspiring. It's really great.
Speaking of inspiring, we talked with Jeremiah, who is involved in the biology trail project. What is it? I imagine it's energizing to you to hear stories like that about students who are tackling something that, like I said earlier, he displayed a vision. He's going after a project. What does that make you feel?
Yeah, to me, that's the heart of why we're here. That's our mission. We have many students, often from pretty modest means, who have tremendous potential. And what we do at Missouri Southern, our faculty and staff, help them realize that potential. I sometimes say we make more of a difference in the lives of our students than a Harvard or a Yale, because we take students from where they're at, having great potential, and enable them to do great things. And that's what's special about Missouri Southern.
Part of that enabling comes from support. And today's event is designed to give our supporters kind of a behind the scenes look at the university, get to know you all a little bit. What message would you have for those who are watching today or who are going to watch this after we send the link out? What would you say to the supporters who are interested in Missouri Southern?
Well, first, I would say thank you. And that charitable support is making a tremendous difference at Missouri Southern, whether it be for scholarships to help our students afford college and succeed, whether it be support of our academic programs, line athletics, you are making a difference. So that's my number one message. And then just encouragement to stay engaged, support us in every way in the future. I believe we have a bright future, but the only way that'll be realized is by working together. And that includes with those who provide philanthropy to further our mission.
We appreciate you both being here. And like I said about Coach Bradley, we are really looking forward to the times when we can get our supporters in front of you guys and have them meet you. I know you're looking forward to the same thing. So
Absolutely.
We appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, everyone.
It's Dr. Dean Van Galen, and his wife, Mary. We appreciate everybody tuning in today. We appreciate the support that you give Missouri Southern as Lion leaders. So thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to you hopefully in person soon, and go Lions.